why you should never friend people you don't know on Roblox. I met this guy on Roblox, and his name was Jimmy X Bear. He asked if we could be friends on Roblox, and I said sure. I wasn't sus of him until a week later when he'd asked me to join his game. And I said sure. So I joined his game. He started then telling me that I was going to get hacked and that I should stay off Roblox. I was completely confused. I didn't know what to say, so I just left the game. After a week or so, I went back on because of how scared I was, and I was logged out of my account. And now I didn't know what to do. So I went to go log into my account. After 20 or so tries, I finally got back in. I looked to go in my Roblox chats and saw Jimmy X Bear. You won't believe what he said next. Part 2 of what Jimmy X Bear said next. I went to go look in my Roblox chats and I got a chat from Jimmy X Bear. He said, "Your account is now mine." I was speechless. Right away, I unfriended him and contacted my parents and my friends. None of my friends would believe me, so I said to go on ALT accounts and join his group. I pretended we were a Roblox group of friends and we wanted to be his friend. So for days of playing with him and acting like we liked him, my friends' main accounts got hacked. Now at this point, I didn't know what to say. I thought it was kind of my fault, so I knew I had to do something. I did next friended him again. And I chatted him back and asked, "What are you trying to do to me?" Stay tuned for part 3. Part 3 on Jimmy X Bear. He decided to tell me the truth of what he was trying to do. He told me that he was trying to get my family, especially my number. He wanted to come to my house. After he said that, I immediately unfriended him and never played Roblox again. At least for like 2 weeks because I was terrified. I told my parents the story and they told me I was not allowed in Roblox. At least for a month or 2. I did get random texts and random calls from this number. All I did was block. And yeah, that's basically
Story time about this girl who faked being Latina. So there was this girl who went to my school. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is the queen of lies. In every subject we talk about, Sarah always, and I mean always, comes up with a lie that has to do with her life. Here's an example. What if we're talking about Tom Holland? She'd just come in and say, "Oh yeah, Tom Holland is my dad's friend. I met him once." You know, these types of lies. Another one is when she told everyone she's Latina. It was lunchtime in school and we were talking about where we went for the summer. Sarah tells us that she went to Spain and she started telling us on what she did there and says that she's 50% Latina. She also said that she lived in Spain for 6 years. And if there is any person who lived in Spain for 6 years, they must know how to speak Spanish. And then my friend Kayla asked her, "What does good morning mean in Spanish?" We all know it's buenos dias. And my friend Kayla asked Sarah, "What does good morning mean in Spanish?" And then Sarah looks at us, looks back at her food and said, "I don't know, I'm still taking Spanish lessons." And we just look at her that she doesn't even know what good morning means in Spanish. If she had lived in Spain for 6 years, she would have known what it meant. I don't know how, but that incident has spread around the entire school. Every person that walks past Sarah just says, "Buenos dias," basically teasing her about not knowing what good morning means in Spanish. And then Sarah didn't show up to school for 3 days after that. And oh boy, we haven't even gotten to the crazy part. The 3 days pass and Sarah comes back to school. As soon as she walks into the class, everyone's eyes was on her. She came up, sat in her seat, and this lady showed up to school. So after 3 days of Sarah not coming to school, she showed up in a crop top, skinny jeans, fake nails, and fake lashes. And her hair was in a bun with edges. Yes, you heard me, edges. This lady is white. And in lunchtime, she took out a bag of hot Cheetos and some dipping sauce. I don't know if this was supposed to make us think she's Latina, but trust me, it didn't work. All of the freshmen and sophomores took out their phone and started filming her. This is where I kind of felt bad, but she ran to the bathroom crying. and she just stayed there and didn't show up to any classes for the rest of the day.
Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you how I scammed my rich friend and Adopt Me and how it went completely wrong. So from what I thought, she would scam people every single day for the pets that she had. And I only thought that because I saw her do it a couple times. And when I tell you this girl was rich, I mean she was rich. So one day I was at her house and we were just playing Adopt Me, and when she went to go up to the bathroom, I took her iPad and I traded myself and I traded all her pets to my account. And by the way, I had traded all the pets to an alt account so that she wouldn't see them in my inventory. So soon enough, she came back from the bathroom and she had a meltdown. And she knew that it wasn't me because she knows that I wouldn't do something like that, and she saw my inventory. So then she goes running to her dad sobbing, telling him about it. And remind you, they are a really wealthy family. And then I was confused because he started screaming at her over these virtual pets. And then he said this. Part 2. So yeah, here he is screaming at her. And then he says this. We're just going to call her Abby, but he says, Abby, I've spent probably over $1,000 on this game in the past year for you. And I was all confused. I was like, wait a minute. This girl had her dad buy her pets? And she's just over there sobbing, and so he takes her iPad and throws it across the room. It didn't break, but this man's was furious. And I'm just standing in the corner of the room with my jaw literally on the ground. Cause he's over here flipping out on her, and I had them in my inventory the whole time. And so of course I had to give them back to her, but oh my god, I was so scared, and they were both mad at me. So then my parents got involved because apparently it was a too far gone prank. So that's when things started to get just way too dramatic. So we stopped talking for a while, but luckily we talk again.
Story time of how I got the best revenge on my worst enemy. So basically there was this girl that literally copied my absolute every move. It all started because the boy that she was dating tried to hit me up. So I guess she was trying to be more like me, I guess. And it all started when I got a puppy. Literally 2 days later, she ended up getting a puppy. The same kind of puppy. Then about a week goes on and I dye my hair blonde. Well, I bleach it. And she dyes her hair blonde. Okay, then the next day, I posted on my story about this app that I was using. It's called Fitness Coach, and I was getting my dream body from it. Also, the link to that app will be in my bio. But then not even an hour later, she posted that she was using it. Then I just noticed every single little thing that I did, she would also start to copy. She even started literally copying my outfits head to toe. So once I noticed that, I decided I was gonna try something out. And I bought a bald cap from the store. And then I posted on a private story with only her in it. Ha, guess what happened 2 days later? I'm running out of time for part 2. Part 2, if I got the best revenge on my worst enemy. Continuing on with the story, after I got a bald cap and posted on my private story with only her in it, 2 days later, she shaves her head. So this is the time where I try to confront the girl. Because at this point, it's obvious she's trying to copy me. And after I confronted her about her trying to copy me, she then tried to say that I was the one trying to copy her. And then switch up the whole story. But for about months and months, she continued to copy me. And now here's where the story gets bad. My puppy ended up passing away due to heart failure. And then of course I posted about it on my Instagram story. And that night I was scrolling through who viewed it. And I see her little fake account. And honestly, I didn't think anything of it. It took a little bit, but 5 days later, I see on her story, my baby will always have a place in my heart. Rip Moxie. Oh, I named my dog Roxy, by the way. And that's the exact thing I put on my story. Exact words and everything. I don't know what she did with the dog. And honestly, I'm terrified to know. But after that, I blocked her on absolutely everything because I came to the conclusion that she is crazy.
This is a bit of a long one, so get your popcorn ready and get comfy. Anyways, one time in year 4 or 5 I used to play Roblox with my backup best friend. We're not friends anymore, so she'd blow up if she saw this. Especially if it had her name in it, so let's call her Lily. Anyways, me and Lily were on Roblox and we were playing our favorite game, Roblox in Life. Because I was a little sad kid, I spent all my pocket money on Robux so I could make my avatar bomb AF to catfish people into thinking I'm pretty. It worked very well, and every time I joined a game I get at least 10 Roblox boyfriends in 3 minutes. When I flexed all my Roblox boyfriends to Lily on FaceTime, she always started to cry because she couldn't get any. I kept telling her to shut up, but she said she wouldn't stop crying until I gave her one of my boyfriends. I found one of the weird Roblox boys in the game that I rejected and asked her to be Lily's boyfriend, and he said yes. She was very happy and I made them meet in the game. Their Roblox relationship got a little bit more serious than I expected because they were adding each other's snaps. I kept telling Lily he was a pedophile, but she ignored me every time. They showed each other a picture of their faces, and I found the picture he sent her on Pinterest and told Lily, but he told her that he was just a big famous and that dumb shit believed him. He said he lived in America and asked where Lily lived. I told her not to tell him or I wouldn't be her friend, so she didn't because she was a loner and I was her only friend. Stupidly, she had her snap maps on, so he found out where she lived. She got scared and told him that I liked him, then gave him my snap. He made a group chat with me, Lily and him in it, and told us that he was coming to Liverpool and asked us to meet him. He then asked when we meet if we could have a three-way, then sent some disturbing pictures. We both said no and I to the three-way, and after a while I persuaded her not to meet him. At school the next day when she went to go put her phone in the phone tray at the beginning of the day, I knew her password because it was the same as mine, so I took her phone. At school the next day when she went to go put her phone in the phone tray at the beginning of the day, I knew her password because it was the same as mine, so I took her phone back out and blocked him on her phone. That guy wouldn't stop trying though. Once he found out that we had blocked him, he made several different accounts to try and talk to us. He said if we didn't answer he would come to our house to kill us. We ended up deleting Snapchat and we reported him to the police. We never heard from him again.